Hey!
No, not yet. There's the timer. Ding.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
We are now live. And as you
Look
can
at
see,
this.
our special guest, our 1 year anniversary guest, good old Ralphie boy.
Good old Ralph. How you doing, buddy? Huh? He's a little shy.
He's a man of little words, but a
Man
lot of
little
action.
words. A lot of action.
So, some of you may know he is one of the most famous, if not the most famous disc golf dog in all of disc golf. He's just the coolest dog, and he's very
chill.
Yeah, he's very chill, very good on the course, and people always recognize him and love to come up and pet him.
And he has his own clothing line.
He has his own clothing
Ralph
line.
wear.
He has his own signature on a disc.
Yep.
He has
his picture on a number plate of a basket I'm giving away. Wow, just this guy.
He may be more famous than any pro out there.
Yeah, I believe he is. Absolutely. Lay down. Lay down. And he listens better too.
He listens better. Nice. All right, guys. Well, thanks for tuning into the YouTube show. If this is your first time, remember that, or if it's your first time, I guess you won't remember.
Yeah.
Keep in mind that this is the live broadcast of our audio podcast, the Disc Golf Answer Man.
If this is your first time, it could be your last time.
Yes. Sorry. Okay. So now that we've gone into that segue. We'll talk more in detail once we get the actual audio podcast rolling. So what you're actually seeing is a live broadcast of our audio recording for the podcast, which you can find on iTunes or Stitcher, or I'm pretty sure I put it out for just about any podcast app that you can find out there. Or you can just simply go to the website, discgolfansman.com, and I always post the latest episodes once I get them edited, and you can enjoy them there.
So been over
1
year
we've been doing it.
It's awesome.
Oh, yeah. We'll talk about once we start the actual podcast. Yeah. So we got our ducks in a row. We ready to roll with this?
Ralph looks ready.
Let's
do this.
Ready. Let's do this.
All right.
All right.
Did you hit record?
Yes.
Okay.
Now you make me nervous.
I'm sorry.
No, it's good. Yes, we're
recording.
All right, here we go. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this episode of the Disc Golf Answer Man. I am Bobby Cool, Daddy Slick Breeze, and I have with me Eric AT&T McCabe.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
And?
Yeah. Ralph.
Yeah.
You made me forget. Yes, Ralph. Now, you obviously, the audio people, you can't see Ralph, but he is sitting right between me and Eric, and he is just chilling out, being the best disc golf dog there is out there.
Go to our YouTube page to check him out if you would like.
Yeah, you can go to youtube.com/dynamicdiscs and look for Disc Golf Answer Man episode 48, and you'll see Ralph chilling with us. And he's here as a special guest because it is our 1 year celebration that we are continuing, and today we actually are giving away some prizes to the people that entered.
We've got a lot going on today.
Oh my gosh, I can't even think straight.
A lot.
We've got a lot going on. We've got giveaways, we've got product reviews, we've got
new discs.
So, all right, so let's get started.
Okay, let's do this.
Let's talk about, of course, what is happening in the next couple of days. By the time some of you listen to this, we have already done it, and hopefully you've seen it all over Facebook. But we are going to AT&T Stadium for the disc golf experience at AT&T. For the YouTube people, you see the discs, and I'll post a picture on the blog for discgolfanswerman.com so you can see what the disc looks like. So that's what the stamp looks like.
Pretty cool. On Truths, Wardens, and Judges.
Yes. Very nice. And just to be honest, it was actually, we had to get this approved by AT&T Stadium. So we were very thankful that they allowed us to put an image of the stadium on a disc with AT&T Stadium. So that was really cool. The other cool thing on that one you have, Eric, I got to give some props to our guy that does the stamping, because if you look really closely for the YouTube people, that's a two-color stamp.
Two-tone.
So
it's pretty cool. There's not very many of these in there. So if you are fortunate enough to get one of the two tones, you are a lucky individual.
Yeah. So I thought that was pretty cool how those turned out with the two tones. So there's all kinds of different two tones going on.
And he even did a couple of them. I saw silver and blue, which is the Cowboys colors. So maybe there'll be a couple Cowboy fans out there that get them.
I imagine that people will play with these in the stadium, and then they'll probably end up on people's walls because they are pretty unique.
I know if it was me and I was playing with, one of the lucky 500 that got to play, I would definitely pretty much just use the putter all day. and not even touch the truth and just hang that bad boy on the wall, brand new, and because the holes are short enough that a lot of people are going to be able to throw a putter on most of the holes. There's a couple little longer holes, but I think you can, with the warden and the judge, those things have pretty good glide to them, so you'll be able to throw those on most of the holes out there.
Cool. And what maybe on the turf you can throw what you want, and then in the tunnels maybe only throw what you're not going to put on the wall or something like that.
Well, yeah. Well, in the tunnels you're only allowed to throw your putters.
Oh,
remember?
That's right. Yeah.
So.
All right, cool. So that's we wanted to share that with you guys, the AT&T Stadium discs, and we're so excited and pumped. We have over 500 people signed up. We basically have the stadium from 5 p.m. till midnight.
We did get the extra hour?
We got the extra hour.
Okay. I thought it was a half hour before, a half hour after.
We couldn't. Yeah, we couldn't secure that. We had to get that at the end. So we got a lot of time.
That's better, I think.
Yeah, we got a lot of time to get people in and do their thing in the stadium. What was I going to say? Oh, yes, the block party. They have allowed us to start a block party at 4 p.m. Tailgate party.
It's tailgate.
No, you're right. It's tailgate. Duh.
We'll have both RVs on the premises.
Yep.
Now, we won't be selling any discs. We won't be selling anything on AT&T premises. That we are not allowed to do that. But about 35 minutes up the road is the Louisville shop, the DD Louisville store, and it's their 2-year anniversary.
Absolutely.
Same time. So they're going to have all kinds of cool deals going on this Friday, which is tomorrow.
Yeah.
So if you're in the area, stop by the shop. I'll be there all day. They're running a one-day seat here at Lake Park. So
and it's a flex start, right?
Flex start all day from, I believe,
10 a.m.?
10 a.m. to 6 p.m., I believe, is when it is. And I'll be out there playing. It's going to be a good day out there, but kind of leading up to the AT&T experience.
Yeah, and a lot of the Team Dynamic Discs people that are coming for the AT&T event, they're going to stop by the shop on Saturday.
Yeah, so we're going to have a big deal out there. We're going to do some signings, and we're going to have a great weekend in Dallas.
Oh, it's going to be awesome. So yes, AT&T Disc Golf Experience at AT&T. Remember, I'm not going to be able to do any video, but there's going to be plenty of photography going on. If you are listening and you're going to the event, make sure that if you post any photos or anything on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, that you use hashtag Stadium Disc Golf. That way we can watch that hashtag trend, and people will be like, what's this Stadium Disc Golf? And they'll check it out.
Yeah,
so
maybe we can get it trending.
That would be cool. I was trending the other day on your feed, wasn't I? Yeah.
Bobby Brown was trending on Facebook.
Anyway, so next item we have up is I can't even read my own writing, Sweden trip.
Sweden. We go. So when we get back from AT&T,
we're leaving the next day.
Yes.
Once we get back from, I just spit all over my microphone.
Glad it's yours.
And we're going to be me and Eric are going to be taking a trip to Sweden so that Eric can play in the European Masters.
Yes.
And then I will be doing some filming and promoting out there for Latitude 64.
Yep.
Then we will be going to Skellefteå. And we will be visiting
which is the home of Latitude 64.
Yep, and that's where we'll be visiting them and looking at all the factory and stuff. I don't know everything I can film because obviously they don't want to show everything they
We'll be able to film it, but we probably won't be able to put it out.
Right. There's certain things that obviously they probably want to keep confidential how they do things, which is cool. And so we'll be out there. Then we go back to Stockholm. We land in Stockholm, Sweden. Then we go to Skellefteå, and then we go back to Stockholm because you're going to play in another event.
A Latitude 64 sponsored event, an A-tier in Stockholm.
Yes. But in between, what are you doing?
Oh, we're doing a disc golf challenge between, I'm not sure the logistics of it just yet, but I do know it'll be myself, Devin Owens, David Feldberg, and Tomas Ekstrom. All 4 of us will be playing against 4 professional Swedish ball golfers.
I think that's going to be unique.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm pretty sure Bobby will be out there with his camera.
Yeah, I'll be doing some stuff out there. So
you better bring a lot of memory cards.
Sheesh. Maybe I have to buy another external hard drive just for that.
Yeah.
So that's a lot going on in Sweden. We are going to definitely try to do a Disc Golf Answer Man episode out there in Sweden. I don't know if we'll be able to do it both weeks because we'll be busy, but we'll at least try to do one week.
Yeah. So I think we'll be able to probably be able to do it while we're at the factory. I know they're pretty Wi-Fi, or maybe at the hotel there in Stockholm.
So if you're listening to this episode and you are while we're in Sweden, send in some Swedish questions.
Yes.
Not in the language
Not
of
in
Sweden,
Swedish.
but maybe questions if you want us to ask Tomas or
Yeah.
Svante, they'll be right there. We can ask
Mhm.
them, or anything about more specific about the trilogy plastic that they make out there in Sweden. So that's cool. All right, so then why don't you talk about your contests you have going on, Eric?
I have a contest. Well, as most of the loyal listeners that know, I have my own signature putter, the McCabe Mercy. It's a series. I've got 3 out right now, and we got a bunch more blanks in at the factory here at the DC. And I decided, boom, let's do something fun. Let's let my fans design the stamp.
Nice.
So on my Facebook page, my fan page, the Eric McCabe 2010 PDGA World Champion page, there is the contest rules. And essentially what it is it must have a DD logo and it must say McCabe Mercy somewhere. And we're trying, it's going to be a foil stamp, so you can't really put a whole lot of shaded or colored in areas because the foil won't take that well there. So basically just something simple on the stamp. You just design the stamp, you post it on my Facebook page, and I will make an album, and the winner will be determined by likes from everybody.
Nice.
So I will share it, and it'll get likes, and whichever has the most likes wins. And you have until, I believe I stopped the contest July 20th. Wednesday, July 20th. I believe that's a Wednesday. Let me double check. I should have been a little bit more ready for this. Wednesday the 23rd, I believe, is when I stopped the contest. That's when you have to have it in by noon Central Time, which I'm not sure why I picked noon Central Time because I will be in Swedish time when that happens. But we'll take care of it. That's when you need to have your design in by, and have fun with it. I've already got 4 or 5 designs in, so go ahead.
How do they submit them again?
You just post the image on my Facebook page.
On your Facebook
on
page.
My fan page. Yes.
Fan page.
Correct.
It says 2010 PDGA World Champion.
That's what it
right?
says.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
And it's got my silhouette as the profile picture.
Nice.
So.
All right, and then you're going to be giving away a basket.
I am giving away. I'm giving away a basket in like 3 days, 2 days.
What's today? Thursday, Friday, Saturday. 2 days.
2 days. Wow.
Woo.
So you listeners, you only have 2 days. I'm cutting this thing off at, I don't know, 8 o'clock.
Sweden time. No, not yet.
8 o'clock, yeah. On Saturday evening. That's when I'm going to pull it from the website, and you will not be able to purchase any more raffle tickets. But right now, go to ericmccabe11674.com, and you can purchase raffle tickets, and there's pictures all over the internet of the cool basket with the Ralph number plate on it. So
nice. Cool. Lots going on, like we said
lots.
before. All right, so this is the moment probably I'm sure everybody's been waiting for, is the 1-year
Product
giveaway.
Review?
No,
I'm just kidding. I'm just joking.
Is the giveaway. And just in case you weren't aware, we were giving away prizes to celebrate our 1 year. We were giving away a Dynamic Discs hat, a Dynamic Disc polo or collared shirt, dry fit, however you want to say it.
Yep.
3 Dynamic discs to one lucky person, a Dynamic Disc soldier bag, and a Dynamic Disc shoes,
Kits.
the Discover shoes.
The Discover shoes.
And then, of course, we were going to announce who won our Disc Golf Answer Man jingle contest. People had submitted jingles for Eric and the Breeze. So what I did was, through the website, I was able to export a spreadsheet, and it was, of course, numbered, if anybody's familiar with Excel. And then I used my iPhone app, the randomizer, put in the number of entries, and then basically let the iPhone pick a random number, and we have the winners.
Nice.
So,
Awesome.
I wish I had a drum roll. I don't have a drum roll. Anyway. Thank you. Thank you, Eric. So, for the Dynamic Disc hat, the winner is... Steve Herman.
Steve Herman.
Steve Herman, you have won a Dynamic Discs hat. Okay?
Cool.
Next one is...
Nice job, Steve.
Good job, Steve.
Thanks for your entry.
Yeah. The next one is a Dynamic Discs polo or collared shirt.
Mm-hmm.
That goes to Dan Thompson.
Dan Thompson.
Woohoo, Dan.
Nice job, Dan.
Good job, Dan. All right. The next thing we're going to give away is the 3 Dynamic discs. Now, they have to be dynamic discs. They can't be latitude or west side, which, not that we have anything, but we want, give away our discs. So 3 discs you'll be able to select, and the winner of that is Kyle Johnson.
Nice.
Nice job, Kyle. You get 3 discs from a Dynamic Disc. The next is the Soldier Bag, and that winner is Jason Eberly.
Okay, soldier bag. That's a
nice
good giveaway
soldier
right
bag,
there.
yeah. All right. That does not include the straps, though, I believe, right? Just
That
the soldier
does not.
bag?
Yes,
Yeah,
that is
just the soldier bag.
The soldier bag.
But it's a good bag for sure. And then the shoes goes to, these are the Discover shoes available in 3 colors. This goes to Seth Harwood.
Seth Harwood.
Yeah.
Of
Nice Shot
Texas.
Productions. Yes.
Nice
and
Shot
so Seth, you'll get a pair of shoes. So how we're going to handle this is I have in the entry you gave me your email address. I hope you gave me a good email address, because that's how I'm going to contact you specifically to get sizes and things like that. So in the next few days, don't expect it really quick, because like we've told you, we've got a lot going on. But here in the next few days, expect an email from me getting your sizes and stuff, and we'll get that stuff mailed out to you. So thanks again, guys. We had over 435, I think?
Something like that, yeah.
Entries in, so that was really cool. Celebrating our 1-year anniversary, and we thank you guys for that.
Yes.
The next is the Disc Golf Answer Man jingle, and I put out there for people to vote, and we got over 100 votes on that. And the winner of that is Trevor Adams. And
Adams.
He wins a
nice jingle.
Ranger bag. So yes, thank you, Trevor, for that. I played it at the beginning of the previous episode, and I'll play it at the beginning of this episode as well. And then maybe I'll do a special where we'll listen to all the rest of them. I'll just post them out there. So
yeah,
if people didn't get to hear them, they got to hear the jingle. They'll get to hear the jingles. So that's it for the giveaways.
Giveaway.
I hope you are happy that you won. I'm sorry if you did not win, and but we'll always
we'll have more contests
and
future.
giveaways in the future for sure. So thanks everybody for that. Next item up is
product reviews.
All right. So,
and we're just going to kind of this is going to be a little unique product review, I think. We're just going to kind of show you all the new stuff that we got in on the container on Monday.
Yeah, because there's not a new mold.
No new molds, but there is definitely new discs and new plastics. So let's start with Moonshine.
All right.
We've got the Moonshine Underworld. Pretty good disc from Westside Discs. It's a pretty straight to understable fairway driver. It's a really nice one, and now they offer it in the Moonshine, so you can play at night. And
the Moonshine also comes. See where it says right here? It says Underworld for you listening. It says the name of the disc, Underworld, but we also got the finish.
Oh, okay. I did not know that.
Yeah, so it's, I can't remember what it is. Mandala
Bay?
I don't know.
No.
Mandolin Rain. No.
Oh.
No, I'm just playing. I can't remember the
I'm not sure.
the translation, but
the finish.
Some people really like to get it with the finish
Yeah,
translation of the name.
Yeah.
So we got that as well. So the Underworld and the Moonshine.
Yes, and the next one I'm pretty excited about is the Moonshine King. And it's got a cool new stamp on it. It doesn't have the traditional King stamp. It has the design from the shirts that we have, actually.
Oh,
the
cool.
King shirts we have in the DD shop. The King's a great flying disc. If you're familiar with the King, I had a chance to throw the Moonshine one a couple times now, and it's the stability-wise, it's perfect right in between the TP and the VIP. So it's not overly overstable, and it's not understable. So it's a pretty good flyer. It flies a very long way.
And for some people that are new to the Latitude 64 trilogy and new to disc golf, tell them when we say Moonshine plastic.
Moonshine plastic is glow-in-the-dark plastic.
There you go.
That's what our Moonshine plastic means. It's just you shut the lights off and boom, it just glows for days. Well, maybe not days, but it's great. It stays pretty bright, and it's fun for those night rounds.
Yeah. Nice.
And a lot of people like them just to throw during the day. Just because it's Moonshine glow-in-the-dark doesn't mean you have to throw it at night.
Right.
So moving on and staying with the Westside discs, we've got the BT Medium Swan 2.
I think a lot of people were anxious for that one, weren't they?
Yeah, people loving the medium plastic, and I know after we hear this, all we're going to hear is, when's the Medium Mercy coming out? Well, when we're in Sweden, I'm going to ask Tomas when the Medium Mercy will be available, but until then, check out the McKay Mercies.
So we got the medium Swan from
Medium
Westside Discs.
Yes,
I know a
nice
lot of people
putter,
are
putt and
anxious for that.
approach.
Yep.
It's a pretty
The
popular one. And the next one is probably one of their other most popular discs. It's the Harp, and it's finally available in BT Hard. And it's not VIP. It's not the premium plastic yet. I know that they're still working on getting the mold to take the plastic and all that, but the Hard is great. It feels nice in the hand and it flies nice and overstable. And I know we just got the Finish Harps as well in BT mediums. So. Now going on to a couple of the easy-to-use line discs that have been out for a while now. The Diamond is probably one of the most popular Latitude 64 discs, and it's now available in gold line plastic. And it's great. It's great. Got a great grip, good feel. It's perfect beginner disc. Maybe if you don't have the arm speed. And it's just overall great disc. And if that one is too understable for you, maybe you should try the Jade. The Jade's another good one from Latitude 64. That's easy to use line, and it's pretty quick. And it's not as understable as you would think. And like the Diamond, I believe it only goes up to 159. What is that one?
154 is this
Okay,
one.
yeah. So I'm pretty sure that they try to stick with the 150s because it's the easy to use and it's very easy to throw. Next up in the gold line plastic is a disc I know a lot of people are excited about as well, is the Scythe. I always get it mixed up. But it's a high-speed, overstable, long-range. I know Corey Obermeyer, Team Latitude 64, loves this disc for sidearms because it's got a nice flat profile. The rim's really easy to hold on to. So he loves it for throwing some nice sidearm discs, sidearm shots. One more Moonshine disc. Man, we got a lot, didn't we?
Yeah, we
got a lot
did.
of new stuff. Is the Bolt, the Moonshine Bolt.
Look at that stamp too. That's a new kind of a unique stamp.
Yeah, it is new. It's got a big bolt on it. I think. I'm not sure. It's pretty cool though. I like the Moonshine logo there with the little wings out the side.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of neat. So Moonshine Bolt. It's a fairly understable distance driver. It's kind of, you don't hear much about the Bolt. It's got kind of the big rim. I know a lot of people either throw probably Kings or something along those lines. But the Bolt's pretty good. It's underrated. You should check out a Bolt, especially in the Moonshine plastic. And finally, our new plastic, well, not new plastic, but disc in plastic, is the
Fusion.
And these things are sweet. The Fugitives, I went through the boxes there on the shelf, and man, you know how the underworlds in the TP plastic, how they have the swirly around the edges, and they look like the plastic stretched, and it just looks really cool.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of those look like too.
They do have a cool. I know the YouTube people can kind of see at the edges, or kind of have a swirly to them.
Yes, with the shield stamp, the Fusion. So that's it.
Cool.
That's product review, and Ralph said goodbye.
Hey, Ralph took off. He's out here. So, like we said, no new molds for right now, but a lot of new plastic for the molds that we have, some real popular ones. So definitely go to dynamicdiscs.net and check those out. See if there's one of your favorite molds you want in a new plastic to try out.
Yes.
One other thing I wanted to mention, because this morning, while I was fixing my breakfast, I listened to the Local Route podcast,
nice.
and I listened to the episode you were on. So I wanted to give a shout out to Mike and Bill, because
they do a great job.
They did a great job, and they did a great job plugging our show.
Yes, they did, actually. So we should plug their show.
So I was thinking we should reciprocate and say, you know what? If you love listening to Disc Golf podcast, that is definitely one you want to listen to.
Yes.
They talk about some local stuff in their area and things that Mike Solt has puts on events and things like that, which he runs great events.
Oh, he does, absolutely.
And but they also do interviews with some high-profile players, and they talk about all things disc golf, which is kind of cool. I like Bill's sometimes controversial take on things. So
it's a great show. I really enjoy listening to it. I listen to it on road trips. And it's definitely the second best disc golf podcast out there. So
Bill's gonna love that.
Check it out, guys.
So anyway, go iTunes and I believe Stitcher, everywhere you can get apps. Just search for Local Route Disc Golf and you'll be able to find it. So thanks for that, guys. All right, I believe that's it. You ready to move on to the questions?
Whew, yeah, let's do this. I
Let's
know we
do
had some
this.
questions left over from last week, so.
Yes, we do.
And I saw a couple of YouTube questions if people are wanting to ask questions through YouTube.
Yeah, I'll
You
try to
can
check
ask it in the
those.
comments. We'll try to get to it at the end of the
Yeah,
show.
the best way, though, I know some people kind of stumble upon this. The best
Beth way?
way is to go to discgolfanswerman.com, click on the submit button,
Yes.
ask your disc golf question, and ask it there, and send it in. And that way, for sure, it'll end up on the air and get answered. So let me pull up the latest questions here. Holy moly, we have a lot of questions.
Holy Moses.
All right. Actually, let's go this way. All right, so the first one is from Anthony. Anthony says, when testing new drivers or doing field work with drivers, how do you keep from getting really tired really quick? When I'm out with drivers, I get tired after maybe an hour or hour and a half. After that, I'm exhausted and can't get my full power into the throws. To me, it seems like at that point, it's not worth it to keep going if you're not going to get the disc up to speed. What is your field routine like with drivers?
Yeah, I mean, an hour to an hour and a half is definitely a long time for throwing shots out in the field. I recommend maybe throwing for like an hour 20 minutes, and then even taking a break and bringing snacks with you, something to keep your energy level up. Don't go to the course on an empty stomach. Bring lots of water, and just try to stay focused.
Cool. All right, the next one is from Ben, and Ben says, Eric and Breeze Bobby B. Everybody keeps giving us new nicknames. Okay, I work towards bettering my community by involving children, parents, and others through physical activity, mainly disc golf.
Awesome.
I found that a lot of the new players that I get involved have been removed from any type of physical movement or exercise for a long while. I myself was among those individuals and started playing at the hefty weight of 350 pounds. I noticed that I've endured through many small injuries and that many of those other players are as well. I've started doing minor weight training to help strengthen the muscles in my body to help prevent any further injury. Is there a specific area that I should focus on to help improve my game, avoid injuries, and pass on to the members in my community to help them with entering disc golf? My main goal is a healthier lifestyle, and I know Bobby is no stranger to making better, healthy choices in life. So feel free to both chime in on this one.
Cool. Well, for me, at least, what I know helps me out a lot is stretching, getting more flexible. I know yoga is a really good form of working out, and people that haven't tried yoga that say, "Oh, I'm not going to do that fruity stuff," should really try it because yoga is no joke. It really is.
No joke.
And just eat healthy. Stretch. I can't stress the stretch enough. You don't want to just go out and start ripping drives because that's a great way to hurt yourself. You want to stretch. I'd like to stretch at least 15, 20 minutes before I even touch a disc, and then putt. Get my arm loose by putting. And this kind of helps get your blood flowing, get your muscles, warmed up, and you're not just out ripping drives, and you're going to definitely pull something when you do that. So,
right.
Muscle training is great, lifting weights and all that, but for me, I prefer to just do a lot more of the calisthenics as far as stretching, maybe some running and yoga, stuff like that.
You definitely to me, you'd want to do just overall conditioning because you're going to be out there on the course walking a lot.
Yes.
You're going to be, yes, bigger muscles are better, I guess. Getting pumped up is better. Getting swole, as they say. But I've seen. Look, it's Simon and Shoestrick, Lazat, and Shoestrick.
Yeah.
I mean, they're tall and lanky, but
yeah.
Man, they can throw. So there's a lot to the technique.
That's that long arms and flexibility.
Yeah.
What it basically boils down to.
So I don't know that there's any particular exercise or to improve your form other than overall conditioning.
Yes.
Going for a nice long walk. People underestimate the power of just going on an hour walk.
Mm-hmm.
It is very outside. It is very invigorating. It is very good for the mind. It's good for your soul. It's good for the body.
Yes.
To just get out there and walk outside. Obviously, eating healthier and things like that will go a long way.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely the endurance part, because you're going to be out there a long time, walking around and throwing. For sure.
Faux show.
All right, let's go to the next question. The next one is from Alex. Alex says, "Hey, Eric and the Breeze, I was wondering if the biofusion recycled plastic is normally more or less stable than Lucid or Fusion Opto or Goldline." Huh.
I don't throw a lot of the biofusion plastic, but I've kind of noticed it to be, brand new. It's pretty stable.
Okay.
Pretty overstable, brand new. But since it is recycled plastic and inexpensive, it does beat in a little quicker.
Okay.
So I don't. Brand new. It's probably just as stable as Lucid or Fusion, but it definitely beats in a lot quicker.
Cool. All right, the next one is from Jeremy. Jeremy says, "Hey guys, what's the craziest or maybe funniest thing you've ever seen happen on a disc golf course? I saw a dude fall off a 2 feet ledge onto his back, get up, and everything in his bag fall out. I died laughing on the inside. Craziest thing was a guy with his truck ran over 3 baskets, an 11-year-old's bag, and hit a guy who was okay, just a banged up knee, because his tenant didn't inform him there would be 3 baskets on his property for a disc golf tournament." Whoa.
Wow.
That is crazy.
That's not good.
No. So what's the craziest thing you've seen?
Man, I've seen a lot.
How about the craziest thing you experienced, like your busted out window in your element?
Oh, yeah.
It had to have been a
things
disc,
there.
didn't we? Was it ever solved that it was a disc?
It was never solved that it was a disc, but it's hard to say if it was a disc or a golf ball, because it was it was close to a golf course,
Yeah.
but it was in the parking lot where there shouldn't have been any golf balls flying,
Right.
and there wasn't very many golfers out that day because it was at USTGC. So my whole back right side passenger side window it was basically spider webbed.
Yeah.
It wasn't broken completely out, but it was spider webbed, And so yeah, that's probably one of them. Another one would be a couple years ago at the Kansas City Wide Open when I threw an errant shot down a hill, and I was the only one on the course that I knew of because it was early in the morning. I was getting a practice round in, and I dropped my bag at the top of the hill and went down the hill to find my disc through the woods, like everybody does, because you don't want to have your backpack on when you're hiking down through these woods. And found my disc, came up about 10 minutes later, bag was gone.
Whoa.
Yeah, stolen. Luckily, I didn't have my keys or wallet or anything
Yeah.
on it, because I didn't drive there. I was there in the RV. And, the tournament started the next day.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, that was a rough day for me. I wasn't very thrilled with that experience for me on the course.
The craziest thing I can remember, I can't remember, I wish I could remember what course it was at. I can't remember if it was you or JT, but someone threw a long drive and there was a gutter, a gutter hole that went into a ditch, and it wasn't very big, but it was like his disc had perfectly hit into the gutter hole, and it had enough momentum where it flew in, and it was like at least 50 feet in the hole. And I remember we were looking down, and we were all trying to think that had to have been a perfect shot into the hole, because it wasn't very big, the angle wasn't, and so that was the weirdest thing.
That is crazy. I've done that similar, but it was those, like, from a pond, there's the pipes that come out through a hill and then it drains of the water. I saw somebody throw a disc inside one of those, and it was on, not the pond side, but the other side, and about 50, 60 feet in there.
Wow.
And me being the little guy was the only one big enough to get in there. And it was winter, so it was like,
oh, nice,
somewhat ice. Well, I got over halfway there and broke the ice, fell in the water. But I mean, it was, it wasn't deep,
right?
But it was still
yeah.
really cold, and I think my phone was in my pocket, and it was one of those days.
Remember Garrett Gerthy at Memorial hit the tree and hit that guy?
Dude in the head? Yeah,
that's crazy. All right, so let's move on to the next question. Next question is from Jeremy again. He says, "That's so cool. Hulk Hogan wrote into to the show. Can't believe he listens and likes disc golf."
Nice.
In all my years, I would have never guessed. Must have been somebody's name that came in. Anyway, crazy anyways. Hey, cool daddy, the first time you met Eric, what was your first impression of him? And was it on the disc golf course? And Eric, same question, go.
Do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
When was the first
I
time?
remember the first time I met Bobby Brown, Cool Daddy Slick
The
Breeze.
first time
Ever.
ever I saw your face. Sorry, guys.
Oh man.
When was the first time?
It was at the lodge.
Oh, yes.
I don't know. Remember if it was during? I don't think it was during the NT. I think I knew you then, but it was during a DD event at the lodge.
It was a showdown at the lodge,
The
wasn't it?
showdown at the lodge. It was a Twisted Flyer event.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
And you came up in an RV. It was the
I came
old
up,
RV.
the old RV, and I parked at the lodge. I got to back into that nice spot,
Little
and
spot they
get
had.
plugged in, and I remember you came out and gave us something. We had no idea who you were, and you were just coming out. I can't remember what it was now that you brought to give us. I don't remember now, but the other thing I do vaguely remember is hole 2 on the Islands course. There was a $10,000 ace.
Oh, yes.
And it was kind of chilly and windy that day, and Bobby drove I believe it was an Expedition.
Yeah, my black Expedition.
And you had it backed up close to the tee pad, and you were just sitting in the back of that thing filming and trying to get an ace on film, that $10,000 ace. And I remember that's my first recollection of Bobby Brown.
Joe Rotan had for you have to pay insurance to give away the 10 grand for the ace, and in order for the insurance company to pay out, is they have to have it on film.
Yep.
You have to show your disc, and you have to say Eric McCabe throwing a blah 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 blah, and then from that time I have to show him actually throwing the disc and following the disc into the basket, and then if someone were to get it, it has to continue rolling, and the person has to go get the disc. I have to show them that it's in the basket.
Yep.
So
well,
yeah,
that end, it can't come out. The disc, the flight of the disc can't go out of the frame of the video, and it can't hit anything. It has to fly straight in. So even if it ticks a little leaf, even a little leaf, it doesn't count.
Wow. So yeah, that insurance company wants to make sure there's no editing or special effects or whatever going into the prize winning. But anyway, so yeah, I was camped out in my Expedition so the wind wouldn't, because it was cold, and I just sat there with my little tripod folded in half and just sat there and filmed people.
Yeah, that
was
my first experience meeting Bobby Brown. Cool Daddy Slick Breeze.
Yeah, and I remember with Eric, I remember meeting him, and I remember because I had just started doing disc golf video and media and stuff, and I remember it was you, Liz, and some other people were in the RV.
Yep.
And I remember Jeremy Taylor and Jim Taylor from the lodge were telling me that you guys were pros and you guys were traveling, and I thought, oh, that's so cool, pros traveling. And then I remember looking on PDGA, and it was a picture of you, and it had said Players Cup
champion.
Yeah,
it was right after I won Players Cup.
Yeah, so it was on PDGA, and so I had your picture, and it said Players Cup or something like that. I was like, that's the dude that's Eric McKay. That's the dude
in the RV out front.
I know. So it was really cool.
And then we lived together for a while.
And then we lived together. We traveled together.
Yeah.
We're
going halfway across the world together.
Now we're going halfway across the world together. So Eric and the Breeze.
Eric and the Breeze.
So much more. The best is yet to come.
Yes.
All right, next, thanks, Jeremy, for that little trip down memory lane. Next question is, hey, brothers.
Hey.
From Hulk Hogan.
Nice.
In a friendly match, oh, here we go. You ready?
Uh-oh.
Is
this a disclaimer?
No, I don't think so. In a friendly match, which 2 DD employees would you like to drop elbows on in the ring, brothers? What? I'd drop elbows on Rusko and bring his world to a painful doctor's visit, brother.
Dang.
What you gonna do about it, brother? What?
Wow.
Is this Disc Golf Answerman or World Wrestling Federation?
That's not World Wrestling Federation anymore. They got sued by the WWF.
Get out.
Wildlife Federation, so now it's WCW.
Get out.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
All right, so since there really is not much to...
I don't think I'd drop elbows on any...
No. I might hug him. What's up? Whoa, Whoa, hey.
Whoa. I'm going to drop an elbow on you right now.
Apparently. All right, sorry, guys. My microphone kind of fell. Okay, let's move on to the next question. This one is from Seymour, and Seymour says, how do you feel about the PDGA's rules on payouts? Here we go.
Oh, boy.
All right, disclaimer. The opinions expressed on the Disc Golf Answerman are not the opinions of Dynamic Disc, Latitude 64, or Westside. They are merely our opinions of Bobby and Eric McCabe.
Yes.
All right, so the question is, how do you feel about the PDGA's rules on payouts? Recently, Macbeth wrote about how he didn't find it right that he placed 20 higher and 40 strokes better than a competitor and only made $150 more than that person.
It was a pretty flat payout at that tournament. Now, I don't blame the PDGA at all. I mean, sure, they have some say in some of the events, like the NTs and some of the majors, but it's not all their fault that the payouts have been the same for the last 20 years. I really don't even know how to answer it because, I mean, what about the TDs? The TDs need to be raising the money, and finding the sponsorship to add money to these events. But what people don't realize when they look at these events and the payouts is how much money actually goes in to the event. Just little things you don't even think about, like AM payout, or buying the trophies, or renting the park that you play in, or
Having
renting
something for the staff,
or renting the street for the block party, or for the staff shirts, renting a stadium, there's a lot more that goes into it, and until we get a corporate sponsorship, we can't really point blame at anybody. I mean, most of the people that, with the exception of Macbeth, well, maybe even Macbeth, but not that I'm calling Macbeth out, but most of the people you hear complaining over and over about payouts and events and things not going the way they should be going are the people that are just doing that, complaining, and they're not doing anything to help grow the sport, or they're not out there running tournaments, or so that's my soapbox for the day.
All right, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I'm not a professional, so I can't speak on the side of the player that didn't get to win as much as he thought he should win. But I can speak on, because I've been in the disc golf industry for a while, and now that I work with DD, I've seen a lot more of the behind-the-scene things. And I agree with Eric in that people get upset over payouts. People get upset that their players pack wasn't as big as they thought it would, and we keep talking about growing the sport. Obviously, I'm all for growing the sport. We all want to grow the sport. We want to see it big. We want more and more people enjoying disc golf like we enjoy it, right?
Yes, absolutely.
But a business is a business, and a business cannot function unless it's making profits.
Yeah.
It's got to pay its employees. It's got to pay for the merchandise. It's got to pay to run events. It's got to pay for stadiums to run events. Mm-hmm. That all costs money, and I would love to be in the clouds and say, let's just, let's do it on love,
Yeah.
Let's let the passion of disc golf, but that's just not the way it is, and I hate to seem so corporate or so like that, but that's my soapbox.
It's coming. I mean, the sport's growing. The more and more, companies are getting involved. There's more and more, not corporate, so to speak, sponsors coming involved, but there's more and more disc companies showing up, more retailers showing up, brick and mortar stores showing up. So the sport's growing. It's getting bigger, and it's just a matter of time, really. We just need to take our baby steps still. We're still in the growing pains of our sport.
Right, and here's what I do. Here's what I try not to do is I try not to look at I try to look at where I'm headed.
Yes.
Rather than complaining about where I'm at. Now, of course,
or where you've been.
Or where I've been. Now, of course, I look at it. I learn from it. I grow from it, from what's happening, what worked, what didn't work. Mm-hmm. But my eyes are on
the future.
5 years from now.
Well, yeah, and for instance, the Glass Blown Open is kind of a good example of that. If you look back 10 years ago where it was, and how it's grown. And we've had meetings about next year's Glass Blown and talked about what we're doing, and it just blows my mind.
It's going to be huge.
It's ridiculous, some of the stuff we've got going.
And Glass Blown Open is not a perfect event. I mean, we have our issues.
Things go wrong. Absolutely.
Things go wrong. Things happen. We get, even us, we talk. We're like, why did this happen? Why didn't this happen? Why didn't it do like this? But overall, our mind is, what can we do better?
Next year, we're going to do this to improve that. It's just. Yeah.
So anyway, I guess our point is like Eric said, we can't, based on the question, we can't blame PDGA for everything as far as that payout. There's more things. There's a lot more pieces to that puzzle, mm-hmm. and why it happened the way it happened. Yeah. But keep your mind on the future. Have a vision.
Vision.
A vision for the future.
And,
all right.
And be dynamic.
And be dynamic. Hashtag. All right, so the next one is from Andrew, and this is a weird question, but we'll go for it. I was listening to a podcast about seeing things on the course. Try looking for your favorite ching rock, and then wham. Giant bull moose pops his heads up. Or a black bear mock charging while stepping on the T-pad. I got pics. Just let me know where to send them. Andrew, not sure what your question is.
I think it's a statement.
It's a statement.
No, his question is, where do I send them?
Oh, just let me know where. Okay. I guess you can send your pictures, your cool pictures of bears and bull mooses. You can send it to info@discgolfanswerman.com, and that's kind of the email address for the show.
Yeah, info@discgolfanswerman.com.
All right, so the next question is from...
I want to see those pictures.
Me too. Matt. Hey, guys, great show. I was just wondering if DD had plans to film any more dynamic duels.
Ooh.
And it would be really cool to have a place set up where we can find Team DD and Team Lat64 in the bag videos. Keep up the great work, and disc on.
Yes. Well, I know our at least the Team DD, and I'm pretty sure the Team Latitude would be the same, is on our YouTube pages. Is probably the easiest place to go search for Team in the Bags.
Well, the thing with Team Latitude 64 is it's so new.
Yeah, that's true. Well, and I don't know if he speaks. I mean, like Felberg and Devin Owens have both got theirs out there. And
now they have their own YouTube page.
Yes.
Yeah, so youtube.com/latitude64.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, that the Latitude or the Dynamic Discs YouTube page. I know that you got a handful of DD Team in the bags. I think you've done Little Paige.
You did
did you, Liz?
Liz is probably getting a little old. Probably need to update that.
Yeah. Blazik,
no.
Oh.
Maybe I don't have it.
McCabe? No.
The Japan version.
The 150 class. But we actually have plans that we're going to do my in the bag in Sweden.
We're going to do it sometime.
We're going to do it in Sweden.
We actually started it and then changed it up.
We started, and then I want to, yeah. And well, the problem is these new discs keep coming out, and it's hard because it's like, oh, wait, I want to redo it because this disc's in my bag now.
But so we'll get it for you.
I promise you within the next month we'll have one.
Now, as far as dynamic duels,
I like the idea of getting them out there. It's just hard.
The logistics are very hard.
Yeah.
Getting people to come out to do that. I mean, things have just changed as far as pro players and things like that. So, but that's definitely something that we keep. Sorry, guys. Something happened that I don't want to say, and will be edited out of the podcast. Oh, God.
Okay.
I'm sorry, YouTube.
Yeah.
Apologize for that.
Right.
I don't even know where I was at now. Okay. All right. So, yeah, the dynamic
the
duels.
logistics are just not there. We might do a little filming this weekend, Saturday, when the team meets up. But it's really tough to get.
I know, but I want to play.
Oh, that's true.
Everybody says you need to film.
You need to film this. No, I understand that, and I'm gonna have my GoPro there, and I'm gonna film it.
I'll have my camera then. I'll film little things, but I don't think I'll do a hole by hole of everybody.
No,
playing.
You need to play this one.
I want to play. I know. I never get to throw with everybody.
But no, well, I love the idea of doing some more dynamic duels, but it's kind of hard right now.
We'll keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Next question is from Steve. Actually, Steve has two questions. He says, "For the breeze, what food do you miss the most while traveling in a foreign country? When I lived in China, it was cheese. So little cheese in that area of the world. For EMAC, is there a difference on how the Europeans design their courses compared to North America?
Nice.
Or are all the course design principles the same?" I'll let you go ahead and answer the design.
I would say that most of the principles are the same as far as course design goes. The terrain's a little different in that part of the world, of course. They're a little further north. I know a lot of them have trees and different types of trees and bushes and bugs and there's not very many bugs, but just that whole aspect of it is definitely a little different. But for the most part, it's the same aspect as far as design goes.
Cool. What foods do you miss most while traveling in a foreign country? Well, I haven't been in a foreign country in a while. Now I'll be in Sweden, and I guess I'll let you know. But Well, I will let you know one particular food that Tomas and everybody out there say we are going to try,
Uh-oh.
and it's called fermented herring. And if you don't know, Eric looks scared. If you don't understand what fermented means, basically it's your food spoiling.
Yes.
I know that some people take vegetables and they ferment those. Sauerkraut is almost a fermented food, but it's at a state where it's not quite
Fermented.
soiled. But so basically, it's rotten fish, because the herring is a fish. Tomas has described children crying because their parents make them eat it. I have been told that you may need to cover your nose while you eat it because the smell is out of this world. I looked it up on Wikipedia, and I think it's rated as one of the worst smelling dishes in the world.
Oh.
So we'll get to try that while
So
we're
wait,
in Sweden.
Are you sure we're not going to get sick off this?
I don't know. I'm going to try like a little piece to say I tried it, but not enough to upset my stomach. I'll probably make sure there's like a pepperoni pizza nearby to cover the taste or something.
There is pizza in Sweden, and
There
it
is
is
pizza?
delicious.
Oh, get out.
And McDonald's in Sweden?
Now, what do they do? Like in Hawaii, when I was in Hawaii, they had you could get fries or pineapples.
Oh, weird.
Is there something like that in Sweden where you can get something different?
I'm sure there is. I know in Canada, you can get poutine. Poutine.
Poutine?
Poutine. You know what poutine is? Is it poutine? Yeah, poutine. It's it sounds really dirty, I know.
It does.
But it's not. It's French fries with gravy and cheese curds. It's
Ew.
actually delicious.
Really?
Yeah, don't ooh me.
Don't
It's
ooh me.
delicious. But the McDonald's there, I know we ate there a couple times when we were in Sweden and Finland, and it's like good food. It's like real beef. It's weird. The hamburgers are actually good.
Nice.
It's not like here where it's
Now, I was in the Marine Corps. I was in the military, and I was in Okinawa for a while, and then I did a little tour in Thailand. What?
It's funny the way you said that.
We're losing control here, guys.
Oh, boy.
In Thailand. But it was on military bases, so
So it's essentially American food.
everything was American. Now,
Yeah.
my most favorite dish that I still haven't made for you and Denise in Okinawa was taco rice and cheese.
Ooh.
Oh, it's so good. Oh, it's still
The dessert there is going to be awesome.
Where?
Sweden.
Really? What's the
Oh,
dessert?
Man, you're just going to have to wait.
Oh, nice. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, so next question is from John. Says, hey guys, love the show. I was wondering if Eric could talk a little bit about disc wear. I've heard that a disc becomes more understable as it gets worn, but when is it time to give up on a disc altogether? Also, how do you keep track of how worn a disc is getting? For instance, if you have a situational disc you don't throw very much, you might have memories of it being far more overstable than it actually is. Thanks.
Yeah. Well, a disc wear is, it depends on what part of the country you play in as well. I know, places like Colorado, some even parts of Texas and out west where you're essentially playing on rocks, and your discs get beat in really fast because instead of coming in and hitting grass every time you throw it, they're hitting rocks and taking big chunks out of them. And I know a lot of people like to keep, buy something really overstable and just beat it in, and it'll be in its bag for life, basically, because when a disc is super understable, it's great. That's how I look at it, is I would much rather have a disc, my understable disc, to be a disc that used to be overstable. So I know exactly how that disc is going to fly. I know from start to finish how it was overstable. Now it's starting to flip up a little bit and ride a little straighter. Okay, that's good. So now I adjust for that. And it's just nice. It's just the comfort of that one disc that's in your bag. It's just the comfortability of knowing, I've had this disc forever. It hasn't failed me. I know what it's going to do. And as far as, when it's time to take a disc out of the bag, for me, I take it out, if it starts to really flip, like just completely turn over, or if it's a roller disc and starts to get some chunks out of it, anything like that, that's when I'll decide, it's time to move on from this and put another one in. But that's why I also recommend, if you have a mold that you love, buy a few of them and funnel them in and out. Usually if you buy a few at a time, then you get the same runs. so you'll know exactly how all of those are going to fly. And like for a couple weeks, I'll have one in, and then I'll put another one in, and throw it occasionally, especially during practice rounds. Throw in a couple shots, throw the same disc. That way, if you're in a tournament situation and you lose your go-to disc, you've got a backup.
Nice.
So,
and I know I've heard Felberg say this before, and I don't know if you said it or this is kind of what you follow, but he buys the disc a little heavy, knowing that as it wears, it's gonna the weight is gonna change a little bit.
Yep, and it definitely will.
So, all right, the next question is from Keith. He says, "Can you make a short YouTube video or webcam showing the proper footwork, hip work?" He wants to have a video of hip work. That's something that he says, because for new players like myself, it's very difficult to find good info on the most important part of a throw, the hips, feet. Thanks. I really enjoy your show. Keith, we're going to keep that in mind. We're not going to be able to do that right here, just because of the way we have the webcam set up and stuff like that. It's not very movable with all the wires. You don't see all the wires.
Yeah, we definitely want to have do more technique videos, kind of like bring the McCabe Minute back.
Yeah, so that is definitely in the works. Obviously not going to happen for a few months because we got the Sweden trip, and then we got a trip out to Portland for World and stuff like that. And that actually brings up to a quick segue for people. For the YouTube guys, we love that you guys watch this on video. We love that it's live, and it's really cool that we kind of have this chill atmosphere. But what we and Eric had envisioned, and some plans to go even taking video to another level, to where we can actually ask questions,
yes,
answer questions like this as far as showing technique. So we're going to try to work on it like a variety video show, where it may come out every 2 months, every month or something. We haven't figured out exactly.
And it's not something that it's going to be live. It's going to be filmed like almost in a studio.
More produced.
Yes, exactly.
So where we'll just kind of talk about news, and then the next segment we may be out in the field talking about a technique, and then the next segment we might be back in the studio talking about some news. We may even talk about controversial topics, since people really like that stuff. So
yeah, we will, I'm sure.
Maybe an off-the-cuff section or something.
And we'll
like
have
that.
guests on, coming in. Jeremy Rusko, I can see him being on the show quite a bit.
Yeah.
And of course, don't worry, podcast listeners, we're not going away from that. We're still going to continue to pump out the podcast, hopefully every week when we can.
Oh yeah.
And it'll be easier, actually, because we can do it wherever, whenever.
Oh, the podcast will continue until the foreseeable future, just because it's a very good format. People can listen to it while they're working out or while they're playing. I've heard some people listen while they play and stuff like that. So anyway, moving on to the next question.
So yeah, look forward to that. I'm definitely looking forward to that.
Oh, another video question. Would Eric be willing to do an in-depth instructional video on throwing for distance? So again, James, thank you for the question, and we'll keep that in our pocket for when we actually do the variety video show. The next one is Max. I'm going to play in the Trilogy Opener in Emporia, and I'm wondering if the production runs of the current Trilogy Challenge disc will be available before or after the tournament.
When?
I would like to stock up on some shields before the tourney, if possible. That's in August?
Shields are awesome.
Yeah. My understanding, Max, is no, we won't. Trilogy discs are only available when you sign up for a Trilogy Challenge. I'm sorry. Trilogy Challenge disc, the Shield, the Thief, and the Claymore, are only available when you sign up for a Trilogy Challenge. So, no, you won't be able to get your hands on any unless you go to Facebook or any of the auction sites and people sell them.
It sounds like he's played in the events and he loves them.
Oh.
Is what it sounds like to me, and he wants to stock up on the shields.
Oh, I gotcha.
I believe it is August that those discs release, and I honestly I can't answer whether or not it's before or after the event, the Trilogy event, but I can just about guarantee that we will have some discs there for sale, some of the Trilogy Challenge discs, possibly, since it is kind of like the finale. So, I'm pretty sure you'll be able to get them. If not there, soon after, you'll be able to buy the Shield in a full production run.
All right, the next one is from Matt, and he says, "What up, Breezy? I hear that you guys / Dynamic Discs are going to be releasing a basket sometime in the future. Any details that you can let us know about? Thanks for doing what you do. The details we can tell you is that it will be made for disc golf, and you can throw discs in it."
Oh, and it's going to have chains.
Yeah, it's going to have chains.
Yeah.
Yes, we are in the works of making our own basket. The guys are working on the specific details as far as the way it looks, how it functions, and things like that. Other than we've seen some prototypes and we've given our critiques on what we like and didn't like. There's no specific date or anything like that.
I believe October is
October is
what
what
we're
we're shooting for.
doing. Maybe not. I think that's when we're hoping to have the final release. I think we have another prototype on the way.
Yeah, so
but
stay tuned for more information on that.
This fall. By this winter, by Christmas time, you should be able to buy a DD basket.
The next question is from Alex. He says, "Dear Easy Mac and the Breeze." Easy/breezy. Nice. "I've seen many articles and videos discussing the finger placement along the rim for the power grip, but not much that covers how to place the disc along your palm. Can you give some points of reference for where you place the discs in your palm and how much of your palm actually contacts the discs? Love the show. Hope to see you at Worlds." Alex of Portland, Oregon.
For me,
do you want a driver instead?
I typically that's fine. I usually don't power grip at all, anything, ever. And the main reason is for control. I don't feel like I have as much control over the flight of the disc, the release of the disc when I do actually put power. Sure, I'll get a little more distance, but what's a few more feet when you can know it's going to land in the fairway? That's my outlook on it, at least. And as far as where it goes in the palm, I like to have it basically right down the middle of the crease of your palm. It's just like a handshake, and then my fingertips are actually on the flight plate of the disc, so it's kind of like a modified power fan grip. It's not quite all the way fanned out, but I would venture to guess that on power grips, where you're going to want to put it is, most of the power is coming off those fingers. The snap you hear is coming out of that finger, and sure, it has some palm, feel to it, some touch to it, but probably not a whole lot. And it's usually going to be pretty close to the center of the palm, right across the middle, kind of like a diagonal from your index finger down to the palm. Does that make sense to you, Bobby?
Yes, it does. All right, the next question is from Jared. Jared says, "My question is about player sponsors. I see a lot of top pros changing sponsors, even sponsors they have been with for ages. Jeremy Colling moved from Discraft to Prodigy. Same with Paige Pierce. Dave Feldberg moved from Innova to Latitude 64. Many others have had similar moves. I know Eric's situation was slightly different since DD was your sponsor before, but I'm curious what common factors caused the pros to change sponsors. Does it come down to plastic preference, financial deals, best fit for someone's personality? Just curious. Thanks and keep up the great work."
Well, like I said before, I can't really speak for other players, but for me, it just made all the sense to stay with Dynamic Discs. My company, basically. Someone I've been with since the beginning. That's my side, but as far as some of the other players that left Innova, left Discraft for Prodigy, or Dave leaving, it's personal reasons. They've got their reasons on why they did it, but I know a lot of the players had left their companies for Prodigy because of hopes and dreams of being part ownership of the company, and I'm not sure how that's working out for them. If it's good or bad. That's something you'd have to ask them. But I know that they, left for a 2-year deal, and I guess we'll see after this year how everything worked out, and see who's still around, and I wish them all the best. And I'm sure it's mostly a financial thing, because you don't make a lot of money out there on the road, so you got to kind of go with. Some of the players have to go with the best financial supporter so they can manage to stay on the road and continue to play events.
Here's what I would ask Jared and any other person that wonders why people change sponsorship.
Yeah.
What?
No, I think it's funny. It's awesome.
What did I do?
Nothing.
Oh my gosh, guys. Oh, anyway,
this is good.
This is good. Here's what I would ask Jared and any other person that says, why do these people keep changing sponsorships? What's going on? Here's what I would ask you to do is you put yourself in their shoes. Imagine disc golf is imagine disc golf as it is. It's a growing industry. You see these companies have big plans. You see these companies and potential for growth. On one company A has been around for a long time. Company B has been around not quite as long, and which company has the best potential for growth. What company can I grow with?
Yes.
What company is new and I can have take my name and have some influence on? What company do I obviously think they make great plastic, but also has them the right direction as far as their future plans? And then I want you to ask yourself, what would you choose?
Mhm.
How would you choose? Because hey guys, Eric's a human. You know what I'm
How?
saying? He feels pain. No, they're all human, and they all have to make decisions they feel are the best for their future and their vision and their goals for the future as they see it and their role in disc golf. So ask yourself, what would motivate you? Finances, the plastic, any of the other things you mentioned, personality, things like that. What would motivate you to choose someone over someone else? And I would imagine they are very similar answers to what the pros actually did.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
That's a good answer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Put
All
yourself
right.
in their shoes.
Put yourself in their shoes. All right. The next question is. All right. I'm sorry. It was a pretty long one, so I'll see. Next one is from Rec Rob. Rec Rob says, "Hey guys, Rec Rob here again. Got a quick question, or maybe something you can explain to more people. Felberg loves to talk about pop-top discs. I understood what he was saying, but never really had one, or so I thought. Then I did my review on the Escape. After that video went up, I talked to a local who watched the video and asked, how is that so stable for you? I then pulled out my second Escape from storage and threw it, and it was way less stable. As you can probably guess, by now the second one was not pop-top.
Mm-hmm.
Can you explain in general what people should look for if they are looking for something a hair more stable in the same mold, or how to pop-top affects the flight of the disc? Thanks again. Keep up the hard work and grow the sport."
Well, I can't really explain the physics of how a domier disc can be more overstable, so to speak, but it just gets more room for glide in the dome when it's flying. But what to look for is something a little more rigid, and something that when you put both your hands on the disc and put your thumbs on the flight plate on top and push down, you hear a pop, like a little pop top. So you hear like a heartbeat. You can hear that?
Yeah.
So like that, when you push it down with your thumbs, you can hear the heartbeat. You can actually see a bigger dome on it. Usually with those are the ones that tend to be a little bit more overstable. Now, not always. Sometimes you got to look at colors and all that good stuff, but it's really all about just getting in a field and throwing them all and seeing which one is more stable. But I can tell you that most of the Giants, at least, the ones that have more dome on it, have been more stable for me.
Nice. Cool. All right, we're hitting about the hour mark, so we're going to end with that question. I want to thank everybody for sending in your questions. Remember, you can go to discgolfanswerman.com, select the Ask Your Disc Golf question, and we'll get your question on the air. Next time you hear or maybe see from us,
yes,
will be from Sweden.
Unless you're one of the whatever players going to Texas this weekend.
Oh yeah, we'll see you at Texas.
You didn't know where I was going, did you?
No, I didn't know you were going with that. But you'll hear from us or see us the Disc Golf Answerman show. Hopefully sometime in the next couple of weeks from Sweden. And then lazy. Oh, Ralph's being lazy. And then we'll come back and we'll have now one cool thing that we're going to do is I'm going to have my little video camera with me while we're traveling, and me and Eric are going to video. We're going to do kind of like a documentary type thing of our trip in Sweden and all the things we do, so that should be fun. So make sure you go to the youtube.com/dynamicdisc YouTube page, and we'll probably cross-post it on Eric's YouTube page and Facebook pages and stuff like that, so people can see our adventures in Sweden. Cool. Anything else to make sure we check with everybody?
I don't believe so. Thanks again, everybody, for being such loyal listeners and supporters, and don't forget to check out the McCabe Mercies, the contest, and the basket that I'm giving away in 2 days. You only have 2 days to do it, to get those raffle tickets. So good luck and thank you. And say goodbye to Ralph.
Bye, Ralph.
He's laying down over there. He's sleepy.
All right, for you YouTube people, let's see if you've said anything on here that we need to discuss.
You YouTube people.
You YouTube, you YouTubers.
YouTube.
Hold on.
Hold on. Isn't that a song?
Great, I can't find the link. Whoa, a lot of comments on the Facebook page. Looks like somebody's excited for winning.
Nice.
Let's see what comments we have from the YouTube folks. Whoa!
Whoa.
Eric, which disc types are better for rollers? For example, an understable disc. What do you like for rollers?
I personally roll either a Renegade or a Fury right now.
Nice.
Yeah.
Frederickson says, thank you, Bobby. Disc golf tournaments are a business. We need to see it as this. Otherwise, they will not be financially viable. Allow the tournament to survive in the long run. That's correct. Again, I'm all about growing the sport. I'm all about helping people out. But the thing is if you take any business class, listen to any business podcast or anything, you know that it takes money to survive.
Mm-hmm.
It takes money to run a business. Ask any business that has gone out of business how important making money is. They'll tell you it's pretty darn important. Eric, you mentioned a McCabe Signature Ranger bag. Are there any changes into that bag, or will it have a specific color?
It will definitely have specific colors, and it'll be pretty much the same as a Ranger, only it'll have a few different logos on it. I'm not sure exactly when it's going to be coming out just yet. Probably sometime this fall. But I'm really looking forward to it. I got some really cool colors coming out. I'm pretty excited about.
All right. Someone says, I think that should be DD's next big move. Get their whole trilogy lineup and all DD clothing into major sports stores, including baskets, discs, shirts, and bags. And kind of along the same line, someone says, I know you wouldn't be able to speak for Resco, but with DD's movement into lifestyle apparel, can you imagine sporting goods stores carrying DD apparel? Gentlemen, we have imagined it, and we will make it happen.
Yes, we are in the process of making that happen, actually.
Ralph would appreciate a treat. Right now he's asleep, so he's good to
He's
go.
passed out.
Hey, Ralph, do you ever go to a disc golf course and find that there are a lot of stickers? How do you deal with that? Also, what is your favorite course to go disking at with your daddy?
Come on.
So, a question for Ralph.
Come on.
Oh,
how'd that feel?
So Ralph, what is your favorite disc golf course to go disking with your daddy?
I think personally he really enjoyed playing in Portland, Oregon.
Really?
Milo MacGyver. He caught 2 squirrels.
Yeah, I guess that would make his day.
His place is beautiful. He can just run all day long. That's probably been that place, or actually Oxbow Falls in New York, Central New York. It's a lot of ups and downs, and there's really nobody out there but a bunch of disc golfers. So
nice.
That's probably his favorite place.
I know his least favorite place is the Memorial.
Oh my gosh! Attacked. Yeah, he got attacked.
Yeah, he got attacked by what kind of dogs were they?
It was a pit bull.
Pit bull. Yeah.
He was on a leash.
He was on a leash.
He was on a leash.
Was the other ones on a leash?
The other one was on a leash about this big.
Yeah.
About that thick. And the owner kind of just let it go. And
wow.
Rawr.
Not a good thing.
Avery Jenkins was there, saved the day. Thank you, Avery.
What's Ross's favorite treats?
What's your favorite treat, buddy? Yeah. He likes the rawhides.
Nice.
The little chewies or milk bones. Milk bones is what I usually keep in my bag.
If someone wants to know, hello, Ralph in the Breeze. A question for Ralph. What is your favorite disc?
Ralph, what's your favorite disc?
Which is an interesting question because...
What's your favorite disc? Is it the Bite?
It's the Latitude 64 Bite.
Yeah, it's the Bite. And actually, we may be having a Ralph Bite signature disc come out at some point. We're working on it.
All right, YouTube guys, thanks for the comments. That's all we got for that. We're going to go ahead and sign off now with YouTube and have Ralph
on the table.
Crazy.
Sit down. Who's that? Oh, there's your treat.
There's your treat.
Oh, good boy.
All right, guys. We'll see you next time.
Yeah, thanks for watching.